Hello students, let's start our last chapter, which is chapter number 5, titled as Canonical Transformations and Poisson's Bracket. So first we will discuss introduction to this chapter and then we will discuss about what is exactly the canonical transformation is. So in earlier fourth chapter we were concerned with the Lagrangian and Hamiltonian formulation. So we have seen that the Hamiltonian formulation, if applied to given problem in mechanics, it does not decrease difficulty of solving problem. But in that, equal status are given to generalized coordinates and generalized momenta, as it is independent of variables which provides us great freedom in selecting physical quantity to designate the coordinate. So in this chapter we will consider a case in which all coordinates qi, that is position coordinates, are cyclic and Hamiltonian is constant for a given function. Then under such condition the conjugate momenta are all constant and given problem can be easily solved. So we will consider both position and momenta as a cyclic coordinate. This we are considering as a cyclic, and due to which Hamiltonian is constant and corresponding momenta are also constant. So our aim is to find out the set of coordinate for which all coordinates are cyclic. So to do this we have to first study some transformation procedure or some methods by which we can transform the coordinate. Therefore, in this chapter, first we will study the process of transformation of generalized coordinates and generalized momenta, and due to their transformation there will be indirectly the transformation of our Hamiltonian operator. So while doing this process, that care should be taken to retain the form of our Hamiltonian's equation of motion. So transformed Hamiltonian also satisfies those two end equations of motion in new coordinate system and new momenta. So for this we will first discuss canonical transformation. So canonical transformations are the transformations from old coordinate q and old momenta p to new coordinates, that is position coordinates capital Q and new momenta capital P. Means we will transform old position coordinate small q and old momentum coordinate to new position coordinate capital Q and new momenta capital P. So due to this transformation, one set of position and momenta to another set of position and momenta, there will be corresponding change in old Hamiltonian, which was QPT, which was function of QPT, into the new Hamiltonian, which is given by KQPT. So due to this transformation in old position and momenta to new position and momenta, there is transformation in our old Hamiltonian, which is function of small q, small p and t, to new Hamiltonian capital Q, capital P and capital T. And this new Hamiltonian is also called as Camiltonian because we use the notation K in short for this. So the transformation of P and Q or QP to capital Q and P are canonical if new Hamiltonian is such that dou K upon dou Pi, this is small old momenta, is equal to Qi dot, which is new position coordinate, and another dou K upon dou qi is equals to minus pi dot. So these are old momentas and these are new position coordinates, where this k is our new transform Hamiltonian or Camiltonian, and this k is given by summation over I ranging from 1 to n, capital Pi, capital Qi dot minus L dash, where L dash is substituted in Hamilton's principle, for which delta integral L dash dt equals to 0, which gives correct equation of motion in terms of new coordinates capital P and capital Q. So these canonical transformations are of Qi, which is function of Q1, Q2 up to Qn, and P1, P2 up to Pn as well as T. Similarly, for this momenta, it is function of same coordinates Q1, Q2 up to Qn, and P1, P2 up to Pn, and time T. So let's say this as equation 1 and this as equation 2. So those which are preserved are known as Hamiltonian's canonical equation of motion. And to transform one set of variable into another set of variable, we will use one standard mathematical procedure which is known as Legendre transformation. So let's study what are these Legendre transformations. So these Legendre transformations are nothing but a mathematical techniques which are used to change the basis from one set of coordinate to another set of coordinate. For this, we will consider the function f, which is function of x and y. So for this function, if we find total derivative of this function, it is different partial derivative dou f upon dou x into dx plus dou f upon dou y into dy. This is total differential. You should know how these equations comes. In SY, BSc, MMP, the chapter is given as partial derivative, in which it is clear to you. You have already studied this. So here, if I consider this as u and this as v, this means u is equals to dou f upon dou x and v is equals to dou f upon dou y. So if we did this substitution, we will get df as u dx plus v dy. Let's say this as equation number 3, where this u and v are these substitutions we have did. Now what we will do, we will transform one set of coordinate which is x and y to another set of coordinate. Let's say it is given by u and v, and this is the change of basis. So u is an independent variable and x is a dependent variable. Now for this we will consider a new function f dash. Now this f dash will be function of u and y. Means we have transformed this function of old basis to new function with a new basis. Means we have changed one set of coordinate which is xy to another set of coordinate uv. So for this fy is such that for this f dash will be such that relation between f and f dash is such that it is considered as f dash equals to f minus ux. Means we have considered first one set of coordinate for a function of one basis, and we transform this into another which has another basis, and relation between those is considered as this new function is nothing but old function minus u into x. Now if we find total derivative of this f dash, this total derivative will be df is equals to df dash will be equals to this df minus, now here it is product of two variable, therefore we will use product rule. So first we will keep this constant, take derivative of second, and vice versa. Now since there is negative sign, both terms will be negative. First I will keep u constant, taking derivative of x, minus, since here there is minus, we will get here minus. Now keep x constant and take derivative of u. So if we have equation 3 as, equation 3 was derived on previous page, so I will write it again. So that equation 3 was df is equals to u dx minus plus v dy. This was our equation 3. Now we will put this equation 3 in this equation, that is value of df. So let's substitute that value. We will get df dash as, what is df now? This u dx plus v dy minus remaining terms as it is, that is u dx minus x du. So here if you observe, this u dx and minus u dx will get cancelled and we will get df dash as v dy minus x du. But you already know that our f dash is function of u and y. Let me call this as equation 4. Now if you differentiate, find total derivative of this f dash as dou df dash will be now dou f dash upon dou u, first it is function of u, du plus, now for y this will be dou f dash upon dou y into dy. So this is total derivative. And if we compare this equation with equation 4, means if we compare these two equations, so here if you observe, this is du and this is du. So if we compare coefficient of du, so coefficient of du are this x and this with negative sign. This means we will get here x as minus dou f dash upon dou u, and by comparing coefficient of dy, so it is given by this and this is dy here. So coefficient of dy is here u and here it is dou f dash upon dou y. This implies me that v will be equal to, now v equals to dou f dash upon dou y. So this is the relation between our old set to new set. This is the v, and this type of transformation is known as the Legendre transformation. So these two relations are for Legendre transformations. So for canonical transformation, we studied mathematical procedure or technique in which we discuss about these Legendre transformations.